Welcome everyone to episode 43 of the Video Game Book Club. I'm Tubby Mora, and today I am joined by Noxo, Tailman, Soul Charizard, Mr. McMahon-Meat, and Genji. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
What up, gamers? This time around, we're going to be focusing on Resident Evil 4 Remake. This game was nominated by Tailman, and it was selected on the Wheel of Mystery with a 6 out of 14 chance or 43% chance of winning. So congrats, Tailman. Well done.
Woo!
Well done.
Yeah, boy.
Resident Evil.
Totally not rigged.
Oh, 100%. It's totally not rigged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 Remake was developed and published by Capcom and was originally released on March 24th, 2023 for PS4, PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. On the Resident Evil 4 official website, it reads, quote, Resident Evil 4 is a remake of the 2005 original Resident Evil 4, reimagined for 2023 to bring state-of-the-art survival horror. Resident Evil 4 preserves the essence of the original game while introducing a modernized gameplay, a reimagined storyline, and vividly detailed graphics to make this the latest survival horror game where life and death, terror, and catharsis intersect. I don't even know what catharsis means, but that's how the website describes the game. How would everyone here describe the game? And the order of presenting will be Nakuso, Genji, Tailman, Mr. McMahon-Meat, Tubby Mora, and then last but not least, Soul Charizard. And please be advised, there may be spoilers ahead. And with that said, let's get started. Question 1. Describe the game in one sentence.
I would describe Resident Evil 4 Remake as a game that reimagines and improves upon the formula of the classic Resident Evil 4, while also keeps itself unique for a different experience. Next.
Yeah.
I would describe Resident Evil 4 Remake as a game that potentially improves upon what the original set out to do, while keeping some of its heart, but changing things and potentially not always for the better.
Beautiful. And Tailman?
Oh, this game proves you can teach an old dog new tricks.
All right.
Next.
That's nice. Resident Evil 4 Remake begins with a ridiculously handsome and S-tier badass government agent Leon S. Kennedy on a butt-clenching, stressful, high-octane, no PP breaks mission to save Ashley, the president's daughter, from a mysterious village in Europe. But things take a wild turn.
Yes,
and
sir.
Leon's mission goes from bad to worse as you slowly uncover secrets of the village. Next.
Wow. I like it. I like it. I felt like I was in a movie trailer.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 Remake is a game about a Spanish cult putting their Las Plagas inside the president's daughter without consent. With the help of Agent Hottie Hunnigan, Don Quixote, and Ada Wong's questionable voiceover work, and of course, Mike, the chopper pilot, it is up to you, Leon Chad Kennedy, to date the president's daughter, Ashley. Next.
Mike.
Wow. I say Don Quixote. I forgot about
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote.
Everyone know, you know who Don Quixote is, right, Tailman?
No.
All right, cool. All right. So, your turn.
I need answers.
Resident Evil 4 is an interesting third-person shooter. Reimagine and redefine the whole story of the Las Plagas, and with the intense twisting of a horror story.
Next. Right, I like it. Okay, let's move on to question 2. What platform did you play the game on, and briefly describe your play style towards the game?
I played on the PS5, and I played the game on the standard difficulty because I never played original before, apparently.
What?
According to the...
Excuse me?
According to the difficulty selection, standard difficulty is if you never played the original Resident Evil 4.
Oh.
Okay, that's fair then. All right. Well,
Yeah,
if we can up a good argument.
I still got my butt kicked. Standard.
Yeah.
Did you?
So, yeah, it's a pretty challenging game on
It
standard.
is.
I'm just bad.
It's harder than the original. But anyway,
Oh,
I tried to do as much as I could. I took my time to enjoy the small details. I even spent hours gathering
Eggs.
chicken eggs.
Dang. Get that golden egg.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I
tasty.
mean, I got a couple of golden eggs. You just gotta hoard your eggs. You never know when you're gonna get surrounded by an enemy. I just did like the worst thing, like stuff that doesn't even make any sense. Like how many times can I parry the chainsaw guy without dying?
well, it depends on your knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are important things to test, though.
Yeah, at the start, I realized you can only do it like once before it breaks, but by the end of the game, if you get that upgraded, especially if you get the upgraded knife.
Oh, the
pretty
freaking clockwork thingies. You got to shoot all 16.
Oh, I mean, I was talking about the one you get from a boss later, but
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
whoa.
Hey, I said there may be spoilers. It's a remake. Everyone's already played Resident Evil 4.
I never played the original Resident Evil.
Except Nakaso.
Except Nakaso. Somehow.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I did as much as I could. Unfortunately, like the original game, I thought they would have changed it when you enter the castle. You could at least backtrack. Well, let's just say there's a couple of, not a couple. There's a lot of treasure and a couple of side missions I missed
Yeah.
before I realized that, unfortunately. But other than that, most of the time I spent just exploring, seeing what changed from the original game, and just enjoying like the gameplay overall, and just buying each weapon, testing it out. Some weapons I like more than other weapons. At the start, of course, standard loadout. Eventually, I found the Red 9 and stuck with that for quite a while until
Red
getting the
9,
Black
baby.
Toe. The Black Toe later on.
Okay.
Oh. You
I
didn't
still,
replace it,
yeah.
did you?
So the Black Toe, I upgraded later on.
Don't worry, Toad Man. I'm with you. Red 9 Club.
Red 9 all the way.
I used the Red 9 for like 30% of the game after I got
That's
it.
not enough.
It's not enough.
That's
Come
not
on,
enough. It gets good once you're fully upgraded.
Oh, yeah, no. I upgraded the power. But Black Toe,
Okay.
I just like it's just quicker. Red 9 is like so slow. Like certain places, it's much better later on to use a Black Toe. But overall, I used these shotguns, the standard shotgun, and got the riot shotgun, and I didn't really use the bolt thrower at all. It's like I was like, I didn't have a lot of space at the time.
What was it? Is it? Did you say? Were you about to say it was bad?
The boat thrower. Love that thing.
That thing is broken. That can kill things so quick.
No. I mean, it's pretty bad at first, but you gotta invest some time into it, and then it'll help.
I heard it takes some time getting used to, but once you do, it's great.
Mhm.
So yeah, most of the time I try to use most of the weapons. I think the bow thrower, in terms of like buying stuff, is the one that I didn't use. Oh, I also didn't buy the RPG. I bought the. Wait, did I?
The Unlimited?
I think I bought. No, I think no.
Oh.
You had to be professional for that
Never mind.
to get the unlimited.
Yeah.
I think I bought it. I put it. Oh, really?
No, you don't. You don't need to beat professional to unlock it.
Oh, how do you unlock it?
You just beat it normally.
Well, I beat it on standard, and I had it purchasable on my next playthrough on New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's about. Oh, really? The unlimited? You could. That's
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah. I think in order
worth
to
it,
get through a normal playthrough, I think you have to be on professional, or you get S on each of the levels on Mercenary, and then you unlock it potentially on a
free?
New Game Plus. No, I think you get for New Game. You can play it. You can buy it for normal playthroughs. I think if you beat Mercenaries on S for each of them, or you beat it on professional, or you unlock a discount for it. By the way, you don't. You just have to beat it on standard and then go into New Game Plus.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
So it's pretty easy entry.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Okay, that's not too bad.
Is
That's
is
nice.
$2 million though? So, but
2 million.
It's pesetas, excuse me?
That's
Pesetas?
pesetas. Ufas. Telos.
Well, that was my experience. How about you, Genji?
So I am coming through Resident Evil 4 Remake as someone who's not played the original. I played it on PlayStation 5. I did my first run through on Standard, and then I beat it again on New Game Plus on Easy just so I could farm a few trophies and build up all my yen in order to my 2 million yen in order to get the infinite rocket launcher, which I
Mhm.
got partway through my third run through. Which was fun, but uh, I used the normal sort of like blacktail shotgun, all that. Didn't use the crossbow. Got the red 9, used it once, sold it off for the blacktail, and focused on upgrading that
Yeah,
for
good. Yeah.
Uh,
Team Blacktail.
yeah, which I found really fully upgraded. I found really useful on my following on playthroughs. But yeah, I played it on PlayStation 5, completed 3 run throughs. Got a few of the harder to get trophies. Was attempting professional until I found out that your infinite rocket launcher doesn't carry over through a normal. I can't. So if I go New Game Plus on professional, I can't get an S rank for it because you need to do less than 15 saves and not on New Game Plus. So that ended my attempt at a professional run. But I ended up with a B for my first run through. So
not bad.
Did you play Mercenaries
okay.
mode?
Yeah, I gave one. I played the first level of Mercenaries mode, the village. But I'm going to save that for my. We'll talk about later as to going further into Mercenaries.
Okay. Sounds
So-
good. Okay. McMad Meat. What you got? I'm just kidding. Tailman. What you got?
I was like, wait a second, I had the order here. All right, so I played RE4 on PC on a hardcore for my first playthrough, and
God, what a god. A legend.
well, I mean, the difficulty screen pretty much calls you out. It's normal for those who haven't played RE4 before. Hardcore is for those who have. I'm like, shoot, I'm not gonna lie to myself, so I picked hardcore. So that's what I did. I picked hardcore. And pretty much all my weapons were from what I had used in the first game. So the OG Red 9, the M1903 bolt action. I never used the Stingray, the semi-auto. I used the original Pumpy until I got my chance to unlock the Street Sweeper. So that's why I've had this since then. And I tried using the TMP again. It's not as good as I remembered.
Yeah.
Even MP5 was okay, but I reserved that for like if I get surrounded. But even still, then the Street Sweeper's better. And of course, the Broken Butterfly, the OG. That's what I always used in the original RE4. So yeah. And then that one, and then after that, I tried to play another playthrough on New Game Plus. I actually got bored, so I went back to a normal playthrough.
Instead of
I
assistance.
played I was like, man, this is boring, dude. So I went back. I made a new Game Plus on normal, and I haven't finished that one yet. But that's it.
Game too easy.
I just started falling asleep playing that New Game Plus. I'm like on assisted. I'm like, dude, I was actually having more stuff than I had to deal with, so I could use. So I'm like, man, forget this. I'm
That's
gonna play
crazy
normal.
though. You beat on hardcore for your first playthrough. Well done.
Yeah,
Nice.
actually, it wasn't hardcore is not that bad actually.
Tailman, you're just a god.
Professional.
We all can't be like you. I'm sorry.
I mean, he was an Apex Predator a long time ago.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Shoot, I forgot about that. The meme, it lives.
The memes are back, but yeah, that's my playthrough. Yeah, I loved it. I was expecting some things they'll keep the same, but I was glad they actually changed it up because it generally caught me off guard. Just like one of them was, I was not expecting the clock tower to go boom and all that. I'm like, what the fuck? It scared me,
Yeah,
dude.
that scared the crap out of me when I was walking.
Because if you don't know, spoilers, so that never happens in the original game. So that's why
Oh,
it
I know.
scared me. I'm like, oh god.
Good, you know?
Oh, you did? Oh, I thought you said didn't. Oh, never mind then. All right. Anyways.
I was just being sarcastic.
Oh, you know me. I can't tell the difference between those two. Anyways, yeah, that was my playthrough. I loved it. I really did like how they changed up the gameplay regarding Ashley. How she functions now in this game. So that's also cool too. But yeah.
Okay, sick.
What's it called? Oh yeah, and then to answer your question for catharsis, it means the process of releasing and hereby providing relief from strong or repressed emotions.
Now, have you ever heard that word up until this point?
No.
Nice, me too.
All right, cool.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, next.
Okay, so Resident Evil 4 remake. I cracked out on this game. I completely neglected my life from the moment I picked up Resident Evil 4 remake, and
Oh,
I
God.
regret nothing.
Did you play the
That's good.
original?
This is actually coming from someone who hasn't played the original.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So and actually, this is just my first Resident Evil game ever.
Oh,
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's a surprise, huh? But okay, so for my first playthrough, I played through on standard difficulty. I played with a conservative playstyle for a majority of it, while thoroughly exploring each new environment and collecting whatever I could. I played using the semiotic weapons because I kind of felt like the automatic ones would be a waste of ammo. I can't say I didn't even bother picking any of them up, so I wouldn't really know. That's how I felt. So I didn't
Yeah.
touch any of them. And once I got a hold of the Magnum, it was a wrap from there. I'd save materials. And
It was a
craft
wrap.
it was a wrap. I'd
It was
save
a wrap for
materials.
y'all.
And, yeah, I'd craft as much ammo as I could, just so I can melt the bosses. And it did. It
Oh, yeah.
absolutely
It
wiped the
does. It
floor with
does.
me. Yeah. After my first playthrough, I went back into professional mode. That lasted about 5 minutes, so I went back into hardcore mode. And
Yeah, and because once you get so used to hardcore, if you go back
Yeah.
to anything less, you're just like, oh.
yeah, it actually felt pretty decent. It felt pretty
Yeah, hardcore
decent.
felt fair, hard but fair.
yeah.
You know.
So the thing
So-
was, I went into hardcore mode with the goal to get S rank. So I
oh
could
man.
so I
Okay.
could try and flex on you guys.
All right, cool. Respect.
Yeah. How'd that
For
go?
this playthrough, I mean, I turned on my speedrunner gamer mode. As you
Yeah.
had to beat the game under a certain amount of time, and I think with a limited amount of saves as well.
I think it's for
Um,
professional, wasn't it? Less than 15 saves
it?
get you S on
Yeah.
professional. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
less than 15 and less than a set amount of hours, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I
think
believe
like
it was 5 hours and 40
or
minutes,
five
I
and a
think.
half.
Uh,
Yeah,
5.5.
something like that for hardcore.
Jeez.
I
Okay.
think it's less than 5.5 and less than 15 saves.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, that's what I was going for, and I was making good time, and I was doing really well. I got a little over halfway through it, but I never finished it, and I
Aw.
don't think I will. I think I got burned out. Like it was really, really tedious, and some parts were incredibly frustrating.
Oh, yeah, I
And
know how
it
you
was-
feel, man. Believe me.
Super time consuming. Just trying to do it all in a time crunch. Like it's not the way that I played games. I never really enjoyed speed.
I'm going to rush
running.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the end, I kind of ruined the game for myself. But on the other end of the spectrum, like I really had a good time playing the game, and I very much enjoyed my first playthrough. So yeah, that was oh yeah, I also played on PC. Okay, next.
Yeah. All right. This is coming from someone who played the original Resident Evil 4 extensively, like Tailman. I played the game on the PS5 using a rotation of the white PS5 controller, the Cosmic Red PS5 controller, and the God of War Ragnarok controller. It's very important.
What's so specific?
In that order. It's
For
very
certain
important.
combat scenarios.
Listen, I procrastinated on this game. I had like a week or so I had no time to charge. You just had to keep it in rotation. Settings placed on max vibration, 100% trigger tension. That's the way to play. I went with the standard difficulty because I'm not a Chad like Tailman. I'm a little wuss. It's hard. I focused primarily on the main story. However, I did explore quite a bit, scavenging for ammo, healing items, all the good stuff. Doing a few requests here and there, getting those blue medallions. I liked how they marked it. Oh, and of course, I did the shooting range. I had to impress Ashley with my B rank skills. So,
Shooting range.
And Lewis.
Dude, shooting range is so fun.
it is very fun. It is
I managed to
very
get
fun.
S on all of it.
Oh my god. Dude,
It's so
Ashley
fun
must have
and
been
addicting.
like, "Oh God, Tailman, please." But
The best part is in the shooting range. If you get the bonus round, the whole entire music is literally a remix of the first soundtrack you hear in the intro of RE4, and that
Yeah.
was awesome.
Oh,
I loved
really?
it, dude. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
sick.
If you get a chance, listen to the full song, and once it hits that like very energetic part, you'll know that's definitely the song from RE4, but remixed for the Shooting
Jeez,
Gallery.
man.
I loved it, dude. It made me so happy to hear that first time I got the bonus round. Oh, dude, that's it. Anyways,
You S ranked all of it?
shooting range, yeah.
Oh my god, Ashley must have been foaming at the mouth.
No,
I
oh,
man, she really must have wanted you. Okay, but in terms of weapon choices,
you wanted overtime.
I actually, surprisingly, I grew really attached to the bolt thrower. There's just something very satisfying about just pummeling enemies with arrows. It's just, very fun. I'd do it all over again. Other than that, I threw most of my upgrades into my combat knife, of course. The Red 9 pistol, Red 9 club with Tailman. The Striker shotgun and the Killer 7 Magnum. Because I can't aim. I really
like 7.
yeah. And then I really didn't want to have to use a rifle. I don't really like snipers in general. But there were just parts in the game where it was difficult to get through without it. AKA the regenerators. So
really? I use the TMP on those.
Yeah, but you use so much resources. Like for me, I didn't have automatic built
You don't
up.
need it.
Well, here's the thing. You can actually kill regenerators without the scope as long as you shoot in the general areas where those parasites would be if you were to see it through the scope.
Yeah, but
so left chest, right chest, left, right
but I can't
right
see it because I don't have a rifle.
And then back of the neck.
I mean, you can, when you shoot it, you can see the parasite inside.
Yeah.
Oh.
Too. Yeah.
You can also kill them off with knives. So
yeah,
that's
you
true.
can kill with knives.
It's possible. You just once you do in the original game, it actually kind of loosely translates to the remake. The only difference to do is you actually see the parasite as you shoot them.
Yeah.
So you just aim for the glowy spots. So
I know. So eventually, it's nice. As you weaken it, it starts to reveal it more. But again, I didn't. It took a lot more resources than I actually had at that moment. So I was like, okay, let me just let me grab the standard rifle I got for free, find a scope, and then done. I was like, okay, easy. But yeah, that's how I played. I didn't use any automatics, and I tried to avoid using the rifle. I try to stick with the bow.
Oh, you would like the Stingray automatic rifle?
Yeah,
yeah. Actually, you can actually get the what you want, the M4. That really surprised me. I was like, an automatic sniper.
I grabbed the Stingray. I grabbed the Stingray as my final. I just kept it. I kept it in the back burner.
Did anyone else use the M1907 with irons unless they needed the scope?
I used that early on for like 25% of the game.
I used it for 100% of the game. Only irons unless I absolutely needed the thermal scope.
So I'm not Chad like Tailman, so
No, I just like using the sniper rifles.
I just really like the bow, and I only want to use the bow. And I made it a lot harder than it should have been. We can. Soul was there. You saw me. I was trying to use the bow. I was like, I could get through this just using a bow. Turns out, it doesn't really work very well against the riot shield people.
Yep.
Yeah, the only time it does do okay is if you put that mine attachment, but still, then you just wish you had a little bit more power.
They're better choices.
Because the bow fully powered only does 10 less damage than the standard handgun fully upgraded. So.
Oh, really? It's good to know.
If I remember correctly.
Holy crap! Tailman's got this. You know all the details.
Listen, man,
I'll talk with you. I'll get some tips from you later. Okay.
Or mines can kill the chainsaw sisters when a cutscene appears.
You can do were those real time cutscenes?
Yeah, it's real time, so you can like put those down, and then when they spawn, you just kill them in one hit. It's fun.
Yeah,
that's smart.
They burst through and they just die, or like in that one scene where you're going through the little bridge.
That is crazy.
If you put the mines ahead of the time before they pull the lever, you can actually kill them and not have to do that part. You can just skip it. It's one of the strats for it's one of the strats for getting the sub 4 hours. It's actually pretty cool.
There's a lot of different like details that you have in a game like that where you can just skip stuff and the game like allows it or like purposely does it.
Oh yeah, I kind of missed the sniper. So what weapon was that? I somehow skipped.
An assault rifle.
I skipped assault rifle section. Ashley,
I thought
you can skip the entire like half of it apparently, and I did. That's what I did apparently.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I got soft locked out of that weapon. It's okay though. I'm gonna go ahead and pass this
Oh,
over to
no.
Soul now. What you got?
Okay.
What was your play style?
It was more of like adapting of what I can, the ammos of what, mostly with the handguns. But
Okay.
and I played this on the PS4.
Okay.
I played this on standard mode, and yes, I played the Resident Evil original game on the Wii, and then
I like that.
and then on the Xbox 360, which I realized which was much more difficult than I expected, as it required a red laser sight. And I used the red 9, but I needed I was just going for like evolution types of weapons, so sadly I had to remove the red 9
Yeah. Okay.
and the bolt action, sadly, which I could have just kept with me, but I needed
The space.
yeah, and I didn't have it. I mean, I could have like put in the storage, but I'm like thinking, okay, I probably won't be needing this because I think these guys are going to be much more tougher. And then, yeah, and I finished all the requests, and
Nice.
yes, especially I had to use one rocket launcher on the stupid regenerator because I was low on ammo.
Oh, I know that one. The giant
no.
one.
Is it the
Yeah.
Iron? Is it the Iron Maiden version of the originator?
It's the one with the tougher requests.
Yeah, it's the one you had to go. You had to backtrack.
Dude, him? He was actually not that hard. I was ripping him.
Chad,
So like I was saying, no, we're not allowed Chads at this game.
When I played him, what my secret was that I just kept shooting the head. I'm like, okay, sniper rifle, and then.
Well, it's not because I could like take him on easily. It's the fact that I was low on. I didn't have enough resources. I was like keep on using it too much during my first playthrough.
Dude, I feel you, man. Like when I got to him, I only had like 5 rounds left of my rifle, and all I had left was my pistol. I'm like, oh shit.
I think that's what I did too. I was low on rifle rounds.
Yeah, I had 5 rounds of the rifle, nothing but ammo for the pistol, and then like maybe like a mag full for my MP5, and somehow I managed to get through him. But I was like at like red health, like my screen was glowing red. At the end of it, I was like, oh god.
Yep. So once I was out of that, and then I had to use my last resort, which is the rocket launcher.
Nice.
Thank goodness I kept that with me just in case.
I mean, you guys are so lucky. I never got to use the rocket launcher once, except for the scripted part. Man.
Yeah, I didn't use it.
I couldn't use it. I'm broke. Can't afford it.
Yeah.
I don't have enough yen, like Genji said.
Yes.
He doesn't have enough Zenny.
Zenny, yep.
He doesn't have any dollary dues.
But yeah, and then most of the time, and then I think I played a little bit of the mercenary. I did get most of the stages on S. I got individual characters on S on different maps.
Wow,
Nice.
nice.
Just like only one of them though, just to get the hand cannon for my next run.
Okay.
And
Uncle P.
yep, and I'm going back to easy mode so I can like stock up and like do the harder modes.
Right.
And
Sounds good.
Yep. Oh yeah, and the briefcase. I think I just stuck with the handgun ammo resource.
Yeah, I always stuck with the standard case. I never had any use for the other cases.
I mean, I could
buy.
I mean,
But you stuck with the original size case. I was like, what a freaking god.
yeah.
I never bought the XL cases. Y'all are a bunch of chumps. Red 9 for days, baby.
Yeah,
Farming for things in order to get the rocket launcher, the pesto case is really useful just to quickly build up because it actually makes a huge difference when trying to get money.
Wait,
Oh
which one?
yeah.
The one where it gives you increased when you're picking up money off the ground, it gives you increased money pickup. Really useful for my second run through. I was trying to farm money in order to buy the rocket launcher. It actually makes a considerable difference.
Oh.
It's a gun range, right? At the RNG and get it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I forgot about those keychain things. I need to.
Yeah.
Keychain.
Oh yeah,
I
the
did the
charms.
Yeah,
I forgot about
I
those.
did do the shooting range, but I was not too accurate with my stuff, so I only got like rarely S and A, and just got mostly A's on that.
Yeah, I feel like some of the shooting range stuff, even on PC, was kind of iffy. I'm like, how the heck are you supposed to do this on a controller, dude? Like some of those require such precise time.
Well,
Because I'm legit lost. How do y'all do this on?
Oh, it wasn't that
Maybe
bad.
you just it's
pretty
not that
easy.
hard. You just have to get good. Get good
Yeah.
at Resident Evil,
Yeah.
man.
just flick and
Gotta
twist.
get good. I was able to do it on controller.
Oh, that's good. Okay, I was worried. Okay.
You just need to learn the secrets of Resident Evil 4 and learn to get good.
Yeah. Palm spin that thing, Mario Party style.
Mario Party, full pomage. I want to see a blister in that thing.
It's good.
All right, I think that's about it. Next.
Question 3. What is one thing you like about the game?
So one thing that I liked about this game is the character redesigns.
Ooh.
I mean, the character redesigns for Ashley
Mm.
and Luis and Ada Wong specifically. I just like, especially like the highlight. Well, also the merchant. Just like all those characters, gave a lot more personality. Especially Ashley was like the outlier, and like if you play the original. Like in this game, I was like, man, I want to protect Ashley. In the original, I was like,
yeah, get away from me.
like this time, she was like much more caring towards Leon.
Yeah.
And spoilers when Luis dies. In this one, she actually is sad. In the
Yeah.
original, she actually, it's like I looked back and she like barely acknowledges it and like doesn't mention it for the rest of the game.
Yep.
It's like he just forgets about it.
She's like, what is that? What is that thing?
Yeah, it was like great. I didn't have nearly as much trouble when she was with me too. I think like only 2 times she got like captured. In the original, we don't talk about that. Anyway,
No.
like in this one, this is so much better. Especially you're able to do that formation. So like certain
the
times
distances.
I would use that.
That's
yeah,
actually
it was
really
like
good.
great.
I like that change. Yeah.
And she doesn't look like a
Yeah.
mouse.
Yeah, she doesn't look like a 16-year-old, even though she's like 20.
She's like 20. I think in the actual official strategy guide, she was like 23. I think. In the actual,
Yeah, like something like
That makes sense. Like college.
Yeah.
I just like the dialogue of like these characters. Luis has way more. He's not just a Hispanic trope. Like,
Ooh, oh yeah, Don
In the
Quixote.
game.
Yeah, I like that guy.
yeah, Donkey. God dang it! Oh man.
Don, we'll show you guys later. Don Quixote.
Yeah.
Now I need to know.
Luis, give him more time throughout the game. Particularly chapter 11 is like probably my favorite mission where you're just going on the minecart with him and stuff. Like the whole thing is just like a super action trip. Like just seeing how the minecart improved from being quick time event stuff to being in real time now. It's like it was just cool.
Oh,
Like all the way to the end of that chapter. And he was also given more backstory, you know, a little bit more involved with Umbrella, and you can also read notes in his laboratory to get more of a picture of his character and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I mean, the merchant.
The merchant.
I did not expect him to get for him to have those like many voice lines and
I love
references
the
to
merchants
the original.
overall, dude. It made me so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was my favorite.
Awesome.
They kept his, personality, his mystique, while also
Gosh,
expanding upon his like
strength.
dialogue
Mhm.
and also the training range. That it's like
It's so
that is
good.
like way better. And like Tellman told me a lot of references. Like if you try to buy the rocket launcher,
Mhm.
he
People
would
like, I see you want to buy that, but it's best to keep it a fair playing field, if you know what I mean, or something. It's actually pretty nice detail.
yeah. Oh man, it's like great. And of course, the last one I want to mention before we move on is Krauser.
Oh my
Krauser.
gosh.
Oh boy.
It was way better being in
Mhm.
real time with the knife fights than just all quick time events. And
Oh,
then
thank
that's it.
God. Yep.
Yeah.
That's so bad in the original.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Top tier designs. And Ada Wong, I like her costume.
Oh, I got stuff to say about Ada Wong.
Oh no.
But yeah, okay.
I like the costume. Oh, I like the character models. Next.
Dude, yes. I love how they redesigned everyone. Okay. I'll get to mine.
Yeah, Genji, what you got?
So an important thing about horror games is the use of audio, and I think that Resident Evil 4 Remake really nails the use of audio from early on in the game when you're crouching and crouching around and you've got the villagers walking around and chanting, or when you go inside like the castle and you've got different rooms you have to go in and you just hear them chanting. It can be unsettling at times, but also just overall the different elements when it comes to sound design. I think they've really nailed it, and it can be quite immersive um, throughout the game. And playing through on headphones and that, I would sometimes just leave myself crouched in areas where I knew there were enemies, just so I could listen to it, just because the dynamics of them was really, really good. And I think they've nailed it superbly. Also, I think Ada Wong's spot on 10 out of 10 would not change.
Please leave me Ada Wong for number 4. The next question.
I'll
I'll do you a solid, man.
Do me a solid here. I need that one.
I'm not mentioning her. And
I
I'll try not to
say
mention
that
her
with
then.
a straight face. So, but this is positive, so not negative. So we will
sorry.
move on.
Oh, Genji.
But I'll quickly, before I move on to the next person talk, the one thing I'll quickly build on from what Nakutsu said just a moment ago. The one really cool thing I found, again, touching on audio and voice lines, and that is that one of the things Lewis says to you just before the minecart, Leon says to Ashley at the very end of the game, which I thought was a really neat thing of characterization, where you've got Lewis who's telling Leon, lighten up, all that kind of thing, and then seeing him take essentially the exact same line from him and say it to Ashley, I think was a really clever thing and a really well done thing.
Call back.
I like that too, yeah.
Yeah. So I noticed that on my second playthrough, I'm like, oh, that's actually quite neat that they did that. So
Yeah, they actually acknowledged Lewis, yeah.
Oh, and I want to also add to the little bit of what you said about the chanting one, Genji, especially when you're like surrounded in that house with Lewis. How it like gets louder and louder.
Yeah.
That's something you don't want to be messing with if you're like low on ammo.
Yeah, proximity.
I freaking hated the cabin
good.
fight on hardcore.
All right, Towman, what you got? What's the one thing you like?
Okay, let's see. One thing I liked about the game. There's so much to list off. Okay,
Yeah.
the one thing I really liked was definitely man, because Noxia took up a few ones that I was gonna say too. Damn. I do like how even though it's a remake, they did change up enough stuff to like keep you on your seat, because I was expecting it to kind of be like play per play per se of Resident Evil 4, but there were some instances where they changed it up. I was like, uh-oh, what's gonna happen now? So I really did like that. If there's one thing I did like, it was that they changed it. They kept it the same enough, but changed it here and there to actually catch you off guard. And it sure caught me off guard, like the minecart place.
Yeah,
that was fun. I had so much fun on the minecart, dude. And then like the clock tower, like I mentioned in the original game, you do go back to that original village, but nothing happens except for like more enemies. Here, I was like, all right, I was walking through, I hear boom, and the thing comes crumbling down. Like, oh shit! It's like, what the frick? Yeah, that caught me off guard. So I did like that they changed it up, and then like some parts of the castle, I was expecting the U2 to show up, but it never did. That was the only thing I was kind of disappointed they kind of cut out, but that's more of a minor thing. They unfortunately got rid of that whole entire boss battle. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but that's the only thing that came to mind. And the Krauser fight, of course, I was expecting a cutscene.
Oh man, yeah.
Like with TEs, but no, I actually went and panned to my character to take control. I'm like, oh, here we go. So it was actually nice. Yeah, I was like, all right, you just killed my homeboy. Now I'm about to really whip your ass. Come here, Krauser. So that was good. I like that. I did like how they changed it up enough to surprise you, which is good. That's how it kept it not from getting too stale, per se. But yeah, that's the number one thing I liked. So yeah, next.
Cool. All right. Okay. This was hard. It was very hard. I made a list. It was a long ass list. So I'll just pick one. But okay. One thing I liked about Resident Evil 4 Remake was the balance and consistency between combat, exploration, and puzzles. And So I'll try to explain what I mean with an example because I can't really think of a good way of wording it.
Mhm.
So instead, here's a scenario. Okay, you just get out of a sweaty battle with some baddies. Okay, your heart is racing. Well, you got 2 green herbs in your case, a few clips for your pistol, and the bags under Leon's eyes have never been darker. The game acknowledges that you've just overcome an intense fight, and the game gives you time to recompose yourself. This was really important, and you have time to explore, gather materials, prepare for the next fight. And once you begin to feel kind of bored of exploring, boom, combat. And after combat, you get another breather. After a few cycles and combat and breathers, you find yourself solving a puzzle or something like that, which is kind of a nice change of pace, a nice break from all the violence. I really appreciated that. The balance of everything. It made it so that the game didn't get exhausting,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't get too burned out. It always kept you on your toes and itching for the next event to happen. And I hope that makes sense. I don't know how else to describe it, but just know that was the one thing I liked about the game.
No, you nailed it, man. It's the
cool.
pacing of everything.
Yeah, pacing. Yeah, that's I think that's the word.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Cool. Yeah, that's it. I like the pacing.
I like
Next.
pacing. Well done. Glad someone said it.
Yeah, the pacing is, yeah.
All right, for me, simple. Quality of life changes are massive in this game. Like, just I thought I was going crazy, but I looked back at it. I looked at some old footage of Resident Evil 4, the original, and apparently you actually did have to open up your case every time to equip a weapon. There was no button map weapon swapping. I was like, oh my god. No wonder this is huge. So yeah, the button map weapon swapping is great. I'm glad you don't have to freaking go open up a menu every single time to change a weapon. In order to break barrels or glass cases, you can now just press a button. You don't have to take out your knife. I mean, you still can if you want to, but you don't always have to take out your knife. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually did it instinctively because I just got so used.
But now you have the option, It's like
even while aiming, I'll actually stop moving because I got so used to being tank controls.
yeah.
It's gonna be killed a few times.
But that's what's great though. Like you have the option if you want to. But if you're being chased and you just want to just grab and run, it's like you have that option too. So it's like I'm glad they included it. And last but not least, thank God they added this, the auto sort button in the briefcase.
I love that.
I am so glad it can actually maximize the space of your case. Because I remember back then, it's just like, I mean, you still can if you want to organize it yourself. But I'm just glad there's just a quick button. Just press it and get going on to the next thing. So yeah, the quality of life changes that they made to this game are amazing. I'm glad they included it. Oh, and Ashley, I really like Ashley. But yeah, so passing it to you.
Oh boy, I think what I like the most is just like, what was it? I think it's just the story itself. Just like in the original one, it was so brief, and there was like certain characters that didn't have enough screen time, like Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
But with this one, it's just like everything kind of went a bit more deeper than we thought. Like how Lewis was like part of the Umbrella researchers.
Yeah. More expanded.
Yeah. And what else? And it's just like a bit more like Krauser and Leon's relationship. I think that's like taking place around the Dark Chronicles or something like that. And then and then Ashley just like being much more better and more mature.
More better. Oh yeah.
Her character is a lot more like actually relatable.
Yes.
In some senses. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And then you can actually see, and then you can actually see more of the last Plagas like showing, like the progression of the Plagas like showing up.
Oh yeah, on the character models. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially when you're like when you're trying to get to that shrine area where you can see them like almost getting controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is one thing I kind of like, where they kept like aware of the whole Plagas thing that's like spreading throughout. And Yeah, it's just I like the improvement of the story of it all, and Lewis actually had a better way to go instead of
Oh, yeah, compared to the original.
Yeah, I like how even though he's gone, he still helps you in a way.
Yeah.
So that I do love that fact that they actually acknowledge his character more
Yep.
compared to the original game. Where after he's gone, he's gone. Like
They
never met him
actually
again.
honor him at the end.
Don't worry, guys. He's just asleep. He's just catching some disease for after a
No,
long,
please.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's about it. Next.
Okay. Question 4. What is one thing you did not like and how would you improve it?
One thing that I did not like is the title screen not having Resident Evil.
I agree, 100%.
Remake.
Disgusting.
I mean, I have like a few others that are probably more
No, that's the biggest one.
prominent,
That's the biggest
but
one.
this one it actually bothered me because when I clicked like start, I was like waiting to hear it, and I didn't hear anything.
How dare they?
I can't believe it.
It's a gut punch.
Why? That's the classic.
I know.
I'm not sure when they started doing it. Genji in Resident Evil 2, did they have the announcer say Resident Evil when you start?
Pretty sure in the remake of Resident Evil 2 and 3 they had it.
But not 4? What the heck?
Hold on. Let me
I'm
check.
pretty sure it's been a little bit since I played the RE2 and 3 remakes.
Dang. Sad. Don't worry, they'll patch it in. They'll probably charge for it.
Also, would have been sick if they didn't do it. But you know how you beat the game and then it gives you original.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah.
It gives you the original title screen from
Wait
the
a
classic.
second here. Wait a
Yeah.
second. Do they?
So we hear what?
Resident Evil 2 remake. Let's
No,
see
they
if they do it in
didn't.
the RE2.
They don't?
I went to
No,
the
they don't.
Oh.
No, they don't.
Oh,
The game's bad.
God.
0 out of 10.
Bad.
And
All right, 0 out of 10.
Yeah, never
announcer
Game's trash.
in
Take it back everything.
Resident Evil.
But yeah, like I was saying, if you beat it and then when you get the OG title screen, then when you click on play assistant,
Oh, that'd be
that would
great.
have been top tier.
Top tier. That would have been 11 out of 10.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't. And like how it's weird because it's like, yeah, like
It's-
does it really matter?
No, but it kind of
When-
does.
It's like it's just like that fluff
Oh,
that adds just a little bit more to it, especially if like, you know, players coming back to it who played the original.
Yeah. Where are
I-
those players?
oh yeah.
I'm trying to
I found
find out what happened to him. Where is he?
Sad. It's kind of disappointing. Very disappointing. So how would you improve it? Add it back in.
Just add it back in
Yeah.
after you beat the
I like
game.
that. I like that idea though. After you beat the game, so that going forward you always hear it. I like that. It's great.
Yeah.
You should work for Capcom.
Hmm.
I'll put it in my resume.
Okay. All right.
Next.
Okay, so I could talk about how Mercenaries is just a bit meh overall. But touch on the fact that I ultimately didn't find Resident Evil 4 remake to be all that scary. Now, I promised my partner I'd throw in the fact that she finds Resident Evil 4 too scary and she does not like horror. So if you're not a fan of horror, you'd probably find Resident Evil 4 scary, but ultimately Resident Evil 4 has horror elements and
Yeah.
does a really good job with audio, but it's not a good horror game in regards to looking for scares. Now, the interesting thing I find that even with Resident Evil 8, you have scene where you're running from a giant slug baby creature that's gigantic and has a gaping mouth and it's
Oh, the
crying and
baby. Oh,
yeah,
God.
so that was Resident Evil 8 wasn't scary either, but it at least had a moment where it was rather terrifying. You had Resident Evil 2 where you had I forget the name of the name of the enemy who couldn't die. I've just drawn a blank on it. And then you had Resident Evil 7
Regenerator?
Oh, Mr.
yeah, the
X.
regenerator.
Mr. X?
Yeah, Mr. X.
Oh.
So Mr. X initially started off scary. And that Nemesis in Resident Evil 3, not so much because Resident Evil 2. And you had
Mhm.
Jack Baker, the initial Baker interactions in Resident Evil 7 that was creepy.
I heard 7 is like the scariest out of the Resident Evil.
Yeah, I mean, had played Resident Evil 6. I played the remaster of Resident Evil 1, and I then played Resident Evil 7. And from my previous horror experiences, the problem is I came into those games from playing the PT demo, and I still say the PT is the pinnacle of horror when it comes to video games. But Resident Evil
Dang.
4 Remake never, like, for context, PC, it got to the point where I had to put the controller down and walk away because I was like, I can't continue for the moment. But I feel whether or not that's ruined my enjoyment of horror, because I feel like this is a very personal thing where I'm finding more and more horror games these days to not be scary. And I find that to be highlighted a lot in Resident Evil 4. But I understand that they were going for a more action game with a horror theme built
Yeah,
in.
that's how the
There
Yeah.
original
was
was. Resident Evil
no,
4.
and yeah, and the regenerator is in Resident Evil 4 with the bugs and that was creepy, but it was never scary. And they done things well, such as have enemies that could sort of like the verticality of certain bug-like enemies that would swing from the ceiling and that was could be creepy, like it was a creepy feel, but it was never scary, and it never had the same element that Resident Evil 8 had. And I understand you can't have an entire game being non-stop scares because it will eventually wear on the player, and things are going to be scary for so long, which is why some short form horror games work really well because they have a concept, they have it for a short period of time. Outlast worked well to begin with, and after all, it becomes tedious, which is the problem with horror games, which is why horror movies tend to
Mhm.
be quite short because they can overstay their welcome. So ultimately, I just was going into Resident Evil 4. I've heard so many amazing things about it. Dead Space was creepy, and they based it off of Resident Evil 4 with lots of their ideas.
Oh,
Ultimately,
I find the
sorry, go on.
original I find this game scarier than the original Resident Evil 4. They
Interesting
have more
because
help horror elements in this one.
yeah, see, because I'd never played the original, and the problem with lots of horror games, and Resident Evil 4 is just like it, is that when it comes to ammo,
Mhm.
is that the game will never really let you run out of ammo, and that's good on the gameplay level. Fundamentally, you don't want the player getting stuck with no ammo, but on a
Mhm.
horror element, it removes that survival aspect when you know that the game's always going to give you ammo, which is the problem that The Last of Us has, where it's meant to be survival, but when you're constantly having ammo, there's not really that survival element to it. Um, Ultimately, when it comes to fixing it, it would be good to have a mode where the game wouldn't recognize that you're low on ammo and wouldn't drop you more, or just do something similar to some of
Realism
the
mode.
other
And
yeah, it'd
Gigi
be
is
like take the
you got
step,
lucky.
take the step. Yeah. So take the standard mode because every single time, like especially like the second half of the game, I quickly discovered that, for example, my pistol, whenever I was like 3 or 4 bullets, and destroy a crate, and there was ammo there. It removed that survival element that I find great in horror games, but I the problem is that the horror aspect and the video game aspect, they struggle sometimes to coexist in a reasonable format because it needs to keep the player not getting frustrated, but at the cost of it being scary. So I wouldn't mind a mode where the game wouldn't recognize you're running low on ammo and it was a randomly generated thing where there is the chance that you would run out of ammo and you would be stuck. You'd have to reload a previous save. Could get frustrating, but I feel like it could bring back some form of horror because you wouldn't know when your next bit of ammo is.
Hmm.
So, but
Okay.
I will move on because I'm conscious of time. So next.
That's not bad at all, though. Even with your dislike, that seems reasonable.
Is it like that in
Yeah.
professional mode where you don't have as much
See, the
ammo
thing is,
or
I played on standard, so I'm not sure if professional. The problem was that I had beaten the game 3 times because I was trying to get the rocket launcher. I then went to
Mhm.
go into professional, and after 3 playthroughs over the course of a week and a half, I was just done. So it'd be curious to
Okay.
go back to that and see if playing on professional or hardcore would make a difference. But I
Actually,
still feel like it would still recognize ammo, but I would be curious to play it through on professional or hardcore first up and just see how much of a difference it is. But the problem is because I know how the game works, I'm not going to get that first-hand experience. So it potentially was my mistake, but I hadn't played Resident Evil before, so I was going on the idea of standard because I haven't played it before.
Actually, I can help you on that part with regarding the on hardcore. It actually feels a lot more scarier because drops are a lot more finite, especially regarding ammo and health items. So you actually have to play a lot more tactically speaking, and like be more frugal with how if you want to shoot or run. And I'll admit there were some times where I just flat out ran. I had no ammo to deal with y'all right now. Like so, it does the difficulty also does help with that thing you're speaking of. But for the most part, you have a valid point because there's some parts like legit. The only part I was scared at was the regenerator part. But after the first few encounters, I'm like, all right, move out of my way, fool. I gotta get the switch, and then it sort of just loses its touch. Yeah.
Yeah, the regenerators initially can be creepy in that, but you don't have to deal with them except for the one where you try and get the wrench. The rest of them you can run past.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just there is a difference. Yeah, it like with Mr. X, with the slug and that there was no proper way to deal with them. The slug you just had to run, but it was confined and everything. Whereas Mr. X, he was constantly hunting you. With Jack, it wasn't until you had to fight him in a boss battle was he gone. But in Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 4 remake, I mean, I feel like I've ruined it in that regard. But yeah, it's just yeah. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I do agree with you on the horror aspect. It's just more of horror elements rather than actual horror game.
Yeah, which is disappointing when people put this game on such a high pedestal, and then it's just like, okay, it's not a great horror game. It's a good action game, and the remake fits really nicely into the Resident Evil universe, and that they've done that well. But as a horror game, it's not good.
Well, I mean, even the original Resident Evil, it was never marketed as a true horror game.
Horror.
It was like action horror.
But it cemented itself within the horror genre, and I think that lots of the Resident Evils have horror elements, but as a horror game, they're not great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it helped Resident Evil get back on track or regain popularity.
They're fantastic games. Like, they've done well. The gunplay and everything's amazing, but horror, it's not a shining example of a good horror
Sorry,
game.
Genji, that's going to be hard to find nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Okay, take it away, Tayo, man.
Okay, so let's see. You kind of touched upon one of the major ones I was gonna touch upon, so that's unfortunate. But no, you beat me to the punch, so it's only fair. So no, one thing I definitely did not like about RE4 is some of the little nuances that I kind of liked from RE4. They kind of did change. Like, and here in the first one, I'll admit I do love the campy attitude and humor that Leon has in the original game. And I was kind of sad to see them kind of tone it down here in the remake, which I guess considering that since this remake series is part of the lore of the new remakes, then it kind of makes sense as a progression from the first, or at least RE2 to RE4 in that case. But I did miss kind of the humor that Leon would have with some of the actual main baddies too, like even Salazar. They have some pretty good moments in their dialogue, even with Ramon.
Yeah,
I'll admit, they kind of cut that out. But for the most part, it does make sense considering, like I said, in the remake, and it's based off of the RE2 remake Leon, so it kind of makes sense regarding the his tonal shift. And and they did cut out one of the bosses I was expecting to see. The U2 boss, but
I'd be saving it for the Separate Ways DLC.
Probably, I hope so. Yeah, and some of the stuff that you'd expect aren't available outright, like Mercenaries mode. When I played, was only recently added in, which I have yet to touch, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But some of the things I don't like is primarily that one. But was primarily that one. They kind of changed somehow how the game feels, because I feel like Leon was a lot more serious this time around compared to the old one. But that's more of a minor thing, because it still works out, because he still has his funny moments, but it's more like in like reaction to like the environment, like, oh, you two again, or how'd you like that? So he still has kind of that humor, but it's not as prominent in this one.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, and then
like I heard that apparently he'd like call on the codec like some of the bosses, and like he'd be like back and forth. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was hoping he would be like talking to the Ramon or Salazar or Krauser sometimes to like, he give his usual one-liner quips, but they didn't do that. The only codexes he called with was Hunnigan, or at very most, maybe I think that's about it. Yeah, so
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it goes from like, oh, Resident Evil's meant to be this campy sort of, the one-liners, bad dialogue, all that kind of stuff, and yet you turn it into there's that shift to a more serious tone. It almost loses arguably some of what Resident Evil's heart is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for a remake, it does kind of. I felt like at times it did feel like it's just essentially an asset swap. At times, especially with some of the more questionable parts. Like I felt like kind of dragged on a little too much at times. Like this castle
was weird with the castle. The pacing was really bad for the castle.
I'll admit the castle was like, yo, this castle shouldn't be this long. I did like that they did make some of the parts more open areas so you can rediscover like the lake. That was a nice touch. I like that part. But the castle, I felt like they didn't need to make it as open as you could, especially when all the good stuff is not even until like later into the castle. So there's no point. So I don't know. That's just me. They could have condensed it a bit more.
100%. It was crap. The pacing was really off when it came to that part.
Especially for the side quests. I kid you not. For that one side quest to kill the harder guy, whoever it was, or defile the poster, you have to make your way all the way back to that one place. You'd never think you'd go back again. I'm like,
a lot of backtracking.
Yeah. So backtracking, pacing, and of course some of the attitude changes.
And where was Hunnigan? There's a lack of Hunnigan voice comms.
Honestly, there kind of was. I was kind of sad because Hunnigan looked really good this time around too. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, that's just me. that just minor gripes.
Okay.
But yeah, next.
Okay. One thing I liked about one thing I disliked about the game and how would I improve it? Really not a lot of things. I loved 99.9% of this game. That 0.1% of the game that I didn't like was specifically for the merchant's frequency of dialogue.
I do feel it. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It felt nice every time I turn a corner. Like you're just like inside of a cave in the middle of nowhere, and you see that purple torch, and you see a friendly face. Yeah, it's great. He's awesome. As for the dialogue, he just wouldn't shut up. I know.
There's some times where I'm like, yo, dude, easy on the dialogue.
Yeah. I can't be the only one. I'm sitting there, I'm browsing his wares, trying to think of what to do with my money, with my pesetas. And concentrate, and you got a homeboy in your ears like, what are you buying?
Things can't be bought with cash, stranger. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like, relax, man. I'm sorting my inventory. Can you
next time buy something, stranger?
It's like if I don't buy next time buy something, will you? Hard times, mate. I'm like, bro, don't make me feel bad.
It was great going for like the minimalist or whatever trophy where you just ignore him the entire time.
Yeah, you only go with like a pistol and a handgun, or a pistol and a knife, right?
Not minimalist, the one where you just whatever the one is where you just don't talk to the shopkeeper. I did that. It was just it was just great running past him. It just felt satisfying. Like I'm not taking whatever you're peddling to me, mate.
Just passing through. But that's it. I love this game. The merchant can tune it down a little bit.
Okay.
Other than that, he's an all right guy.
I also don't like you can't kill him this time around, actually.
Ooh, that's a big one. You can't even kill him.
Wait, you can't? You could kill him? Fuck, that
no,
great.
You can't. No, you can't. I tried killing him before. You can,
could you
but
kill
not
him in
here
the original?
Yeah.
Oh,
but then the only drawback is he
I'm changing my score now.
You can't change your score. You already locked in.
He's locked in.
0 out of 10.
That kind of made me sad that I couldn't kill him. That's like the first thing I tested.
Dude, me too. That was the first thing I tried to do was kill him.
I'm like, Leon just puts his gun upward. All right.
Bad
I already
dude,
know how
bad
this is going. Yeah. You can still like him though, and he'll react. So there's that.
Guess.
I don't know. I was kind of disappointed they removed that because that was like one of the funniest things you could do in the game. Just kill him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. That's what I didn't like about the game. Next.
Oh my god. Oh, here we go. It's my turn.
All right.
All right. Have We saved
God, I
Ada for you,
love
man. We
Ada
saved you,
Wong's
Ada.
voice.
I do not like Ada Wong's English voiceover. It just doesn't feel like it matches or fits the character. Like in the original, they nailed down Ada Wong like perfectly. Her voice was assertive, yet had, a hint of seductiveness to it, a true femme fatale. Now, when you heard Ada Wong in the original, it's like, you want her to step on you. But in the remake, when you hear Ada Wong, when you hear Ada Wong, you just want her to step on your ears because her vocal performance is just not that good. You can stop right there. Leon, wouldn't make me use this, would you? It's just like, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like a bad English dub for a telenovela or a Spanish soap opera. It's just, good God, it's bad.
Maybe it's a reference to the original Resident Evil voice acting.
It just sucks because like the cast, like everyone else is great. Like Luis is good, Leon, Ashley, just everyone is like, they're stepping up to the plate. But when Ada Wong's English voice actor steps up to the plate, it just sounds like she's just reading a script. It's just
it makes sense. It's interesting because she's a real life actor.
Yeah,
while the others are actual character voice actors.
Which I guess it just goes to show. It's just there's a big difference, but there's a difference. It just sucks because
her audio quality is also worse if you notice.
Yeah. It just sucks because
felt like it was kind of like muted, didn't it? Like a little quieter than usual.
Yeah.
Even when he was like talking to what's it called? Was it Lewis for the first time? Like, yo, is my headphones down? It's like I have to raise my volume to hear her.
They butchered it so badly, man. I was like looking forward to it, and then the encounter, the first encounter with Ada Wong. I do like her redesign. Don't get me wrong, but I mean that red dress is so iconic.
It is,
especially when you do the first encounter with Ada Wong in the original, and she does that sweeping kick to kick the gun up. I just like in that slow mo. I was like, man, at that moment, everyone had a new video game crush, and it was just because of that moment right there.
I think mine was Hunnigan.
Or no, Hunnigan's great too, but like Ada Wong is like, man, Jesus, they ruined it, man.
I want to add something.
I feel like they're saving that for the Separate Ways DLC.
I guess.
I would hope. Yeah, I hope they can rectify.
Man, I'm just very sad. It's just. All right,
go ahead.
Now go, Sol. Go for it. I'm gonna go cry over here.
Yeah. According to a friend who played it as well, he did not like the Ada's voice as well. But I think there was this isn't confirmed because there's like some misinformation going on after I think before or after the game got released. The current voice actor claimed that she got harassed for playing Ada, and that may or may not be true. But also,
okay, that's
real
too
news
far.
about anything is going to be really muddy and hard. Since every story is going to see you into the toxic and sexist gamer angle.
What?
So what was interesting was that the RE2 voice actor for the Ada in the RE2 remake, that was superbly done. However, allegedly, and this is all allegedly and things I've read online,
oh God, here we go.
That the voice actor for Resident Evil 2, she is a unionized worker apparently.
That's what I heard too.
And Capcom is allegedly not trying to have unionized voice actors.
Allegedly.
So the voice actor for RE4 remake, she is not a unioned voice actor, allegedly, which is why they did the change from number 2 to number 4. So that is potentially why they changed, which the voice actor from RE2, Jolene, I believe her first name is. She did an amazing job as Ada, but apparently because she's part of the Voice Actors Union Guild or something, that was allegedly why she wasn't brought back for RE4. And then I think there was some. I think I remember reading something online about how they want the voice actor for Ada for RE4. They want to make her not sound as sexy because they want her to be like independent, powerful woman. That kind of thing.
You can be sexy and independent and powerful. I don't understand why there has to be. My God!
This is all. This is all.
Oh yeah, this is allegedly. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
This is all allegedly, but yeah. So that's why for the change in that. But yeah, it is not good. But the harassment is wrong. You just go, this is shit.
100%.
But you just go, this is shit. No good. But for anyone who's harassing the voice actors for a poor performance,
F those people. Yeah.
Fuck off, you're a dickhead.
Yeah.
It should never be taken that far. But definitely
it's a video game.
Yeah. Definitely though, they should have allegedly did a better job. Or get something better. I don't know. Just work on it. It just sucks because it's like it's always going to be the blemish to this game. You know, Resident Evil 4, everything's great, but Ada Wong.
Let's see what happens when the DLC comes out.
Yeah, we'll see. How would I improve it? Just listen to the original Resident Evil voice or Resident Evil 4 Ada Wong, or I guess for Genji. I need to take a look at that, by the way. I'm curious to see what she sounded like. Listen at those two.
She was amazing in the second game. Like, absolutely, please step on me. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. So grab those two references, audio, match it close, and make it better. That's my improvement. Please. But yeah, go ahead, Soul. It's all you now. I'm done with my rant.
Honestly, remakes are ups and downs, and this is probably one of the one of those negative points. It's mostly like with the original one they kept there's some things that were kept in there, some things that were not kept in there. Like there was another boss like further in the island level, and I think they got rid of that. It's the one with that centipede like looking monster thing.
Yeah, you too. That's what Tom mentioned.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then the regenerator one, how it's introduced. For some reason, I feel scared, but it's just like unlike the original.
But you gotta remember when you played the original, you were a lot younger back then. This is 18 years, man. 18 years ago.
But you already know it was coming too.
Yeah, it's 18 years, dude. I mean,
yeah, but I was hoping that there would be like something else instead of and like, I mean, I don't mind if it's like changed differently, but the way how it was introduced,
it was pretty funny. I liked it when it wiggled.
Yeah, no, it's more like the fact that you can already hear it like laughing in the distance when you just enter that area. And then the only thing I wanted to be like, I want to have that better feeling of interacting with the regenerator, almost giving me a heart attack.
Oh, I want to be scarier.
Like much more scary, but just felt toned down. It's like it's more like annoying to fight once you're like low on ammo. Because I told you this before, Tubby. Like when I first encountered the regenerator, I just unloaded everything, like all my TMP ammo on it.
Yeah,
I just couldn't. I almost could not breathe for almost like less than 10 seconds because of that, or I didn't feel my heart beating for that 10 within that 10 seconds. And I did not even move because I was like
so scared
to advance. Yeah, that's the I couldn't just like move. It got me so unnerved. It's like I just had shell shock for like one, like just for that one, and for that one monster that just appeared. I couldn't. That's like the most memorable thing I ever had with Resident Evil 4. And with the remake, it's just it didn't feel like it just felt off. And especially when you're like seeing them in those tubes or something like that, and they somehow I just can't get that feeling anymore from that. I mean,
oh yeah, I look back at the original. It's not this one's scarier in my opinion. Looking back, I was like, man, I thought the original was scarier. But then it's like I look at the comparisons.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a tough one, man. I don't know what to say about that.
Also, it's hard because that's the first time you're introduced to that.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's never going to be quite be the same.
Yeah. I never expected to have the same experience in terms of being scared of that.
Yeah. It's like how for the Dead Space remake, I didn't find it scary at all. I found it rather disappointing. But I played the original so much that I knew what to expect, so I feel like it could be the same between the two. Like if you've played Resident Evil 4 a lot, you might not be as scared as this one because you sort of know
Nope.
what to expect.
That could be
Mhm.
true as well, because I think I
Yeah.
did play that several times already.
Yeah. The thing, which is why I was like, Dead Space remake. It's not scary. I was like really disappointed with so much of it, but because I played the original so much, I knew what to expect.
Yep.
So I was sort of like, yeah. So
Expectations were already created and set the moment
Yeah.
you press start on the controller.
yeah, because
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 is set at such a high
Mhm.
bar. You trying to get over that bar or even match that, especially from nostalgia and like from when you were younger, and that from the nostalgia, it could be a huge amount of that.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah.
true for that
Which
one.
is fair. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I mean,
However, I didn't play the
how it
first
is.
one, and this was not scary. So
Oh, you're a Chad when it comes to horror games.
yeah, Genji, Mr. Callisto Protocol.
Oh, and I also want to add one
Oh.
more thing: the shooting the fish.
Uh,
Shooting the fish is like it kind of got rid of that whole jump scare moment for the new people.
Shooting the
Oh yeah,
fish.
because it puts in a cutscene instead of being real time before.
Yep.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree with that one. Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, but oh well. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
All
bring
right.
on Resident Evil 5.
Oh, boy, I wonder how they're gonna do that.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay.
All right, next.
All right. Last question. Question 5. What is your final verdict and final rating from 0 to 10 using a 0.5 scale? Take it home, Noxo.
All right. So for me, this is the definitive version, personally, that I would go and play like going forward. And if I wanted to pick between the original and the 2023, but I still consider, and obviously, the original game came out and revolutionized like horror third-person games. Of course, like Genji said, Dead Space, and a lot of other games in the future took a lot of inspiration from Resident Evil 4. So I
Shadows
came
of the
into
Damned.
yeah, Shadows of the Dam. I never came into this expecting this to like give me that feeling that the original did, because honestly, it's impossible to experience that.
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter what.
Yeah, it's not
Like,
gonna be the same
it-
ever.
Like I know what was gonna happen, and I'm like so happy that they actually reimagined different parts and didn't just copy it one for one. That's
Mhm.
kind of one issue I actually have with a lot of remakes, when it's like just a blank copy with this upgrades and graphics. I'm glad that they actually took the time out to add a lot of differences, to add a lot of details, to flesh out some stuff with the gameplay and the characters. In terms of like the combat and the feeling of the game, is way better than the original. And
Mhm.
the original, I did like some aspects of it, just having that over the top cheesiness. They did tone it down, but they did keep some of it. So where they took away some things from the original, they kind of added stuff to that in the remakes. So it's like kind of like a 50-50, and depending on how you feel about the original and how you feel about this game, I think has a bigger impact in terms of like overall of which game you would prefer. But for me, I will give this game a 9.5 out of 10.
Ooh,
I would, and
yeah.
for clarification, for that, if I was like back at that time on the GameCube,
Yeah.
I would give the like original a 10 out of 10. So this is a little bit less. I could see, giving it lower just for like Ada Wong's voice performance, and, if you and like how Genji wanted a little bit more horror, not horror elements, but horror into the game, similar to the other Resident Evils. At least a little bit more of that. I could see this game getting a lower score, but for me personally, my expectations going into it, that's how I feel overall.
All
So
right.
once again, they nailed it. I'm glad that they at least nailed this game and it wasn't a horrible PR
God,
mess like
dude.
Redfall.
Oh,
Wait, what's Redfall?
I'm gonna nominate that game.
Wait, what's Redfall? Is that hunting?
It's a piece of
The
trash.
new
We'll talk
one
about
is
it.
just on the
It's the hottest AAA game that came out.
Oh no!
We'll talk about it later.
The way Tubby says that makes me think it's not.
Oh, jeez.
Shit.
God.
All right,
Oh no,
dang,
it's
dude.
bad.
What do you think?
Oh.
What do you-
So as someone who's played Shadows of the Damned, Dead Space, Evil Within, games that were all inspired from Resident Evil 4, I think that the expectations, I don't even think necessarily expectations, but the bar has been set so high by other remakes, by Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 7, and the quality of the remake that was Dead Space, where Dead Space remake and the original Dead Space, I would argue, can coexist hand in hand. Both of them are fantastic at what they do. Both are superb games. However, after playing the Resident Evil 4 remake, I don't have a desire to go back to the original. While and by not having a desire, I don't want to touch the original. I think if I'm going to experience it, it might be better to experience it through watching it online. I think they do some really good things with Resident Evil 4. However, as a horror game, it fails really superbly. There are some
Yeah.
elements you can say are creepy. You've got really good audio from the villagers and that do make things feel tense and can make things feel unsettling. You've got the initial interaction with the regenerators and whatnot. However, ultimately, that isn't what I would class as what makes a horror game amazing. It's that ongoing feel. So as a horror game, I'd probably sit this around a 4 or a 5 out of 10. I think that other games that are inspired by Resident Evil 4, at least just looking at the remake alone, do some things really well. But I think even in Shadows of the Damned, which wasn't trying to be scary, but Evil Within, it fails as a horror thing, and that could be reflective on the approach for action and that. Mercenaries is a bit forgettable in that, but certain boss battles have been done really well. Ultimately, I think they've done a great job with Resident Evil 4 Remake, despite what I've said, so I'll have to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
All right. Pretty good. Yo, man.
I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. I don't give.
Okay.
Dude, it's okay. So I played the original to death. Okay, and I played this one not to death because I have things to do. But I can say, I can say, without a doubt that during the time I was playing it, this is one of the very few games, kind of rarely actually, that I was actually excited to get home and actually play like on my own time, without having it feel like there's a time. What's it called? Without having to feel like there's some sort of time limit hovering over my head. This is a game I genuinely wanted to play ever since I heard its announcement. So it's kind of it's rare that I've actually had a game that I genuinely want to play, like on my own, even if it wasn't voted. So yeah, and then first time playing it, going through the hunter's cabin and going into that village for the first time in who knows how many years.
Yeah.
I swear, even when I died, I'll admit, especially because remember my first playthrough was hardcore, so my heart was racing. I had the biggest smile on my face having to go through that one house again to get the shotgun.
Yeah, the double decker.
Yeah, go to the edge of that room or the roof, camp my sorry self until that chainsaw guy comes, toss a frag grenade, say see ya, and just run around and dodge him until the timer runs out before before you die, hopefully. And then and then you go on through the game, and then seeing familiar characters show up, and then how they change it up really kept me on my seat just enough. So I think, oh, this is gonna happen, but then it doesn't. But then ends up happening later. Yeah, it's one of the best experiences. And then I do love the fact that you could also buy a deal. I bought DLC for this game full.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's how much I love this game, dude.
Dang it. So you're the problem. I'm just kidding.
I am. I'll say it.
Hey, what'd you buy DLC wise? I'm curious.
The original sound effects.
Okay. No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
what was
Wait,
DLC?
seriously, they're charging for that?
I thought they were charged. I thought he bought the exclusive signature weapon free upgrade. The pay to win
Charging for
stuff.
original sound
I
effects.
bought the weapons, the Sentinel 9 and the Skull Crusher. Those are pretty good weapons, but they're just essentially a slightly upgraded pump action or the handgun that you get. But they're both good guns. Yeah. No. Everything else, I especially on hardcore, you only get everything's much more expensive, so you're in trouble. I'm like, oh god. And then so Yeah, I completed the game normally. Yeah, so basically, I had a blast playing this game. And even if it isn't a horror element game, like, Genji says, the fact that I was playing on hardcore and I'd be, only have like one sliver of health. I kid you not, most of my game time was spent on like one hit. So I had to play carefully. So that's what made it scary for me, was the fact that any corner, at any moment, any time, I could die at any moment. That's what made it scary for me. It was because hardcore was just, it was an unforgettable experience considering the strats I had to pull to play that game. Oh God! But I had all sorts of fun. I didn't realize how many hours I clocked in until I saved. I'm like, I put that many hours in. It doesn't feel like it.
How many did you put in?
About 20 something hours.
Thanks, son. I respect.
Because I was also doing the side quests. I was doing all the possible treasures you can pick up. I only missed one, unfortunately, and that was the dog. So I didn't get all the side quests, but I did everything else. And yeah, there's only 2 golden eggs in this whole game, so that was interesting. You can use them to skip the Ramon boss fight. Did you know that?
Yeah, I
didn't know that.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
You can throw the egg at him.
Yeah, throw the egg in his mouth.
That's
then
great.
It severely it damages him. If you had 2 golden eggs, essentially speaking, you could actually just skip the fight by doing that.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah, but it requires you to
there-
sacrifice the side quest for that moment.
Mhm.
So it depends on what you want.
Whoa.
Bless you.
Bless you.
But yeah, apart from the minor things like Ada Wong's voice actor or some of the interesting pacing at times in the castle mainly, apart from those, I still had a very good time. And when I get some free time, I'm hoping to pick up the game again and play it some more. But yeah, 10 out of 10 for me. I had a blast in those
Dang.
the whole time playing it. It was so good, man.
You're on a roll. Two back-to-back 10 out of 10s. I mean, they're good games though. So
yeah, Hades was also really good. I was not expecting to give it a 10, but there we go.
that's
Anyway,
that's the most shocking. I still can't believe you did that. Because it's just that's a genre you traditionally don't like. That's why I was like, man, Hades must have been very special.
It was, dude. That soundtrack, I kid you not, pumps you up, man. It feels like you can take on the gods themselves until you get wrecked by freaking Majera or something. But you're good.
Who's Majera?
Is that the first boss defeat, or was that her name?
Megara?
Oh,
Megara. Sorry, I pronounced her name.
I like Majera. Oh, I like that one better.
That's the Don Quixote.
Megara.
Don Quixote.
Okay, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
All
I
right.
like this game. Yeah, Red 9 gang for life.
Red 9 gang. All right. Okay. McMahon Meat, what about you?
Cool. All right, my final verdict. Resident Evil 4 Remake is the best thing that's happened to me since having kids.
Wait,
Wait, are you allowed to say that? Are you allowed to say that in public? Is that
10 out of 10.
dang?
best thing to happen to me.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Dude, that's
I
kind
was
of dangerous, man. That's a little dangerous what you just said.
All right.
Okay.
Congratulations.
This might cause you to get like some sort of lost strike, man. You might
right.
want to be careful with that.
Don't worry, McMahon Meat. I'll keep it between you and me. No one else will find out about this. My sister won't find out.
Thanks.
That's it. That's how we leave it.
Hold on. No, you got to give us more than that because you can't just drop a 10 and just walk away. Yeah, you got to give us more. Like what? Like what was it? What?
The true Chad move.
What drove it to a 10?
I'm not sure what it was about the game. I just couldn't pull myself away. Like what I said earlier. I no-lifed it. I didn't expect myself to no-life it, but
Yeah.
I no-lifed it, and I don't know why I no-lifed it. I couldn't get off, and then the next day after we had announced that this game was gonna be on the VGBC, I was done because I no-lifed it.
Oh yeah, you did it within 24 hours, huh?
I don't know why.
You're the first to finish it, dude. Like what the heck?
The rest of the store needs to be saved.
I needed help, and there was no helping me.
It was like crack, bro. I just need more.
I was like, yeah, like a helpless addict.
I mean, wasn't Lady Bun Buns there just to help you
Who's-
out?
No, she's just watching him just spiral.
Yeah.
Just wanted him to come to his addiction. I need more RE4. I need to get this Granados. What they got.
At least it's
going
not
to
drugs. Good enough. Go on.
It's just
Once I
as
get this
good.
Magnum, it's a wrap for y'all.
I don't know. I
Oh,
feel like smoking pot might be. I take it back.
No, don't.
No, it was really good. I don't know what it is about the game. It's maybe it was everything about the game. I couldn't stop.
Dang.
I need hope.
You
Uh-oh.
sound so sad, dude. It's like an AA meeting right
That's
now.
the saddest 10 I've ever heard him give.
That's
Over my
Lady
life.
Bun
I've
Buns.
only given one other 10.
You didn't know.
Would sacrifice my children for this game.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me cross-reference that.
I would
Actually, no, you're right. You're right. You've only given one other game a 10. Okay, never mind. Just
What was
kidding.
that one? Which game was that one?
He gave it to Psychonauts 2.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game will deserve a 10. Yeah. I gave it a. What did I give that game? Anyways, yeah. He sounds so.
It's the saddest 10 I've ever heard.
I was just caught off guard of
This-
what he just said.
This game was taking over my life. I didn't know anymore.
Didn't even say like in a good
No,
way.
Yeah, in a good way. You know, I
The
would.
best way possible, of course.
Oh, okay.
It was
Next
it was
thing you know-
absolute bliss.
Okay. All right.
Everything's been S ranked. I live
Jeez.
in the streets.
Okay.
Go to internet
Well,
cafe.
I'll take that. Well done.
Oh.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Okay. We'll try to process it.
I'm still processing it, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, same here.
Um,
Okay. Well, all right. For me, Resident Evil 4 remake. Man, what a game! What a game! I just love like the feeling that this game gives off. Being nostalgic. Yeah, it just feels like a breath of fresh air, like a new taste and a new spin on something that is just so familiar. It's like enjoying one of your favorite childhood snacks you had as a kid, and then revisiting and trying the snack 18 years later. But it's just as good, maybe if better. It's like the pacing of the game is great. You don't get stuck in an area for too long. The enemies in each area have like their own unique quirk that you must overcome, and you have to just approach combat a little bit differently. Just like the freaking zealots and their robes. I swear, I kept shooting them between their legs all the time. I kept missing.
You know what
Felt
I
so
would
bad.
do? I would just toss a flash grenade and just like kill him.
Yeah. But it's just like small stuff like that. It's like, and difficulty starts to ramp up as you progress. And I'm glad that they mixed it up and not just did the same enemies over and over.
Dude, the freaking island though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But that's how you know it's good because the first one in the island in the first one was also annoying. So
Yeah, no, it's great. Like, there's a nice variety of weapons and upgrades to pick from. Something to look forward to with the completion of each new chapter, and then the retelling and the reimagining of the story, like the characters, Ashley, everything was like just top notch, and a lot of like tender love and care was given. Except to Ada Wong's English voiceover, I don't know about that one. They really just messed that up. So they messed it up terribly.
I was hoping go for like a female shepherd character, voice actress for her.
I don't know. Just give me something that's not that. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I can honestly say though, all the gripes I have with this game, people have already touched upon it. Without a shadow of a doubt, Resident Evil 4 remake, I will declare it as the best remake of a game I've ever played because it's the only remake I have ever played. So with that said, I'm giving Resident Evil 4 remake a 3 out of 10, just slightly better than Sports Story.
I like it.
I'm joking. I'm giving Resident Evil 4 remake, Date the President's Daughter edition, a 9 out of 10.
The president.
The game just really makes you feel like you want to eat at Las Plagas. So yeah, it's a great game. Give it a 9 out of 10.
Resident Evil 4 Overtime Edition.
Yeah, just wait,
Worried that
man.
I've been outdone with a worse score.
Oh no, Sports Story, man.
Oh god, I
Oh
heard
no,
I heard
Vinci. First story.
You're
There's nothing going to touch that.
that
I listened to the
would
podcast
make
for that one.
you. That
Oh,
will.
God.
Oh, you did?
I was like, How did y'all even manage to finish the? I would have just like sat out. I'm like, I ain't doing this, dude. Y'all
No,
want to play.
Genji play that, he would get out of 0 out of 10.
Yeah, that game makes you
I'm gonna
give a
reevaluate
new one,
your
dude.
scores.
Knowing my review scores, I might give it a 9 out of 10.
No, this game is broken.
Literally.
Like broken.
Okay, fine, 8 out of 10.
Okay,
You would
good enough.
Oh,
see,
okay.
it would make Dark look like a freaking masterpiece.
Actually, it kind of
You've not
does.
played Dark.
Well, you have not played Sports Story.
Yeah.
True, fair point.
Didn't expect that, Taylor.
But I'm gonna go ahead. So I'm gonna pass the mic over to you.
Okay, so the reason I'm gonna give this game 7.5 out of 10. The reason why is because I think I had a little bit too much my hopes up from that regenerator thing, and there's some like remakes that kind of left out some of the parts that could be a bit longer for the game. But everything else is fine, except for, and I think aside from the regenerator one that kind of toned it down a bit, I think I will agree. Everyone agrees that Ada Wong's voice actress is flatlined.
Questionable.
Yes, it's flat. She's just flatlined it a little bit.
Yeah.
I would have given it 8 if she showed actual emotion to it.
She sounded like I felt like she sounded
Or a
disinterested
bit
to
higher.
be there in general.
Like, why am I even here?
I feel like they didn't have enough time for getting another one since it's almost complete anyways. But yeah, I'm giving that. I like the whole improvements of it all, but there are some remakes that I wish that could have like extended some things a bit better. But
That's interesting though. 7.5. So what would you consider like a really
Yeah.
good remake then? Sorry to put you on the spot.
yeah, I know.
Oh wait, what score did
No,
you
I
give
kind
it,
of put
sorry?
myself there. A little bit. Just like at least keep some of the bosses, just like some of the bosses, like that YouTube boss, like to keep it there, but like at least mix it up a bit,
Hmm.
like how they did with Krauser and Salazar,
Okay.
along with the other bosses. Like it could be like an optional boss or like an actual boss to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Like say if you want to go through like there's like a certain path you can go through, like you can either like deviate from you can try and follow this path but not like fall into this pit that could lead to that YouTube boss or something like that, and then you have to go through that way and like defeat it first and then go back to where you were going through, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, just keep like keep some of the bosses there, or at least a little bit longer to the like certain certain maps of the areas.
Mm-hmm.
Because the island one, I also want to say I feel like the island one is much shorter than I expected than the original. Did
What?
anyone notice that?
That was way longer.
You sure?
Yeah, I feel like it was way longer than usual.
Yeah? That island was like way better than original. Original was horrible.
Yeah, the island was only like a few chapters long, and then you're at the ending already. I was like, here they actually added some more stuff in between. Like,
I went
you know,
back to watch the original. It is.
It's actually really short. Like, I do like the fact they show you on their effects of the Las Plagas at the last second. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that was cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt the island one felt shorter to me all of a sudden. I don't know why. Maybe
Well, I
it's
guess it just depends, you know, what you remember versus what you actually experienced. I guess I don't know.
I guess
I thought the island was longer than usual. I'm like, dang, this island's still going. I was expecting it to end like 2 hours ago.
Lucky, dude.
Because I don't know why, but it just felt shorter. I'm trying to remember what, like, there was like, I guess it's just like how it's like broken up into like several parts in the original, like how like you managed to get to Ashley and then she pilots the bulldozer and it goes to another section of the island and it's like before like the final showdown with Krauser and stuff like that.
Oh, that part was fun.
Yeah, but it's just like, I'm not sure if that's just me that's just feeling like the island map is much more shorter than the others. I could be like imagining it differently.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh well, but yeah,
But I
I'll give
mean,
you I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. for
Okay.
this one.
Mm.
Oh, what were you
7
saying,
sounds
Cubby?
good.
Hey, calm down.
This is good as Power
Kidding.
Rangers.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, with that said, Resident Evil 4 Remake gets our final average rating of 90.8% or 54.5 out of 60. So, yeah, really solid remake. Definitely check it out. You get the chance. Good stuff. But Genji, you know what, Genji?
What, Genji?
Do you know what time it is?
It's dark time.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is dark time. But there's only one way to experience dark time. Do you know what round we go to next?
The Wheel of Mythicality.
The Wheel of Mythicality mystery question time. So, bonus mystery questions were prepared ahead of time by everyone here. And if you haven't prepared
Oh,
one, you're probably going to make one up
Right.
as you go right now. So, no one knows who will be asking the bonus mystery question.
If
So
you were to make one weapon from RE4, I'm kidding. What would it be?
Hey, this sounds very familiar. Spinning the Wheel of Mystery now.
Please don't be Genji. Don't be Genji.
Be Genji. Be Genji.
Come on.
I'm sitting this one out.
Genji.
Oh, Genji!
Wow.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
I
So,
love his questions. They're always strange.
always weird and
What would
zany.
you date? I'm kidding.
Got an even weirder question ready for you all.
All right, what you
Oh,
got,
no.
Genji?
Okay, so let's replace Ashley. Let's pretend Ashley does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Okay.
had to take one of the guns you used in the game, give it a personality, and it is a psychic, what would it sound like and what would its personality be?
Wait, did you?
So if you were to turn your gun into a waifu, what would it be?
So we're turning it out. We're getting rid of Ashley. We're turning the guns of Resident Evil into waifus. What gun would be your companion? What would it sound like, and what would its personality be?
Okay, well, that is definitely a question. Thank you, Genji.
That is
For
definitely
fighting
a
it.
question of all time.
That is a question of all time, Genji. Yes.
No,
Okay.
you already know my answer.
So I'm going to go ahead and start the 60-second timer for us to think and process that question now.
So this is easy.
Oh,
I don't know
is
why
it?
this is so. This is gonna creep. This is gonna creep.
That is a little creepy, but okay, go for it.
Black Tail. I was naked.
Yeah, the black tail. Thank you. So
The
the black
black
tail.
I was kidding. No! The Red 9. Red 9.
Ooh, that's a good one. But the black tail, that gun apparently is top tier. So I want this gun to be seductive, yet crazy. So every time,
Of course you would.
Of course you would make it crazy.
but not too crazy.
Oh, just enough to
Well,
question yourself.
Yeah, that's enough to question yourself.
Like,
Like when
this
you're
is
pulling the
like-
trigger, the gun will whisper in your ear to do it. And you know how Genji had how you wanted more horror elements? Actually, the more you kill with this gun, the more you hallucinate and actually see things. So not only will this gun be attractive, but it'll also inflict more horror elements the more you kill with it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like it tells you to kill. It says to love me forever.
Dang.
And when you pull another gun out,
It's yonder.
they actually try to sabotage a gun and jam it.
Oh, jeez. And it's a backstabbing.
Oh,
A backstabbing
Yeah.
gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good gun choice.
I'm sold.
That's me.
concerning.
Not only is this gun a waifu, but it's also gameplay changing
It's
for
also a
those
life.
who enjoy more horror.
Yeah.
It also goes with the theme of Yandere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pull me.
I'm kinda concerned.
Oh, my trigger.
So
All
concerned.
right,
Oh.
next.
This is getting weird. I like it. Keep going.
Stick a new
Genji.
mag in me.
This is like Eternal Darkness
Sorry.
series Requiem Guns Edition.
I have to say that the infinite rocket launcher, let's turn that into a waifu.
Wow.
I mean, it's like top tier gun, but we could also be top tier waifu while we're at it. This gun, while it's very expensive, is also
It's a gold
very
digger.
controlling.
It's a gold
It's a very gold. It costs 2 million Chinese dollars, and then on top of that, it's top tier. But the problem is that it's so powerful, you become addicted. It's like a drug.
Uh-oh.
whispers in your
McMahon me, stay
ear.
away.
It strokes your cheek, and it tells you
Strokes
that
your
you're the only thing.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. You gotta put your
Oh,
cheek
shit.
on it.
Tells you you're the only thing that you need. It's the only thing you
Wow.
need.
It
But
really is,
if
though.
you-
It really is.
It
You
is
try to
really
escape.
though.
But just like in Resident Evil, when you try to use it, it blows up Ashley when she's being kidnapped. So if you try to use anything but that, it will blow up your house, blow up your family, and make you want nothing but it. It's like Tommy from the manga Tommy.
It became a terrorist.
But you can't escape its grasping needs. You want it every day of your life, and
That's
you can't
true.
escape. It's like a siren. Like the
Oh,
siren pulling you to your
okay.
death, but you
I
can't get enough of it.
I mean, can't argue with
I'll
that.
be right back.
Make a
I'm
good
off to
point.
go play Resident Evil 4.
Okay. All right. Say hi to the
Next.
waifu.
Hi.
All right, tell man. What about you? I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. If I were to turn a wife, it would be the Thompson. No, I was kidding.
Nah, okay, that was unexpected.
No, I don't want to see your reaction. No, definitely for sure the Red 9. That's always the Red 9 was my go-to. I'd always have that out, ready to go. If I were to turn that thing into a waifu, since the C96 it was based on as a German gun, of course it had to have a Russian accent just to make some history buffs cringe. So,
You want some vodka, big boy?
but it's a German business, so that's fine. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, it's not much. She gets the job done. Doesn't need much else. Reliable when you need it. Is it? It doesn't require much. Shows up, gets the job done. Doesn't stay much longer than that.
All right.
You call it an Uber and it goes home.
So,
Oh no, I didn't say you take it.
is that just
no,
saying? One and done?
No, it's something that's no.
I
It's
have work
something
in the morning.
No, no, you stick with it for a while.
Oh, okay.
You stick it out.
And then
yeah.
you leave it.
It's
No,
a
no,
summer
no, no.
fling.
Nah, you both stick it out together.
Okay.
She's just the type to not stay long. When you're on a job, she just wants to get it done and then move on to the next thing. So
Okay.
she's
that's fine.
not one for showing off per se.
Alright.
There we go.
Fair enough. Very
It
modest.
shows up, doesn't show off. Yes, there we go. That was the word I was trying to find.
Okay.
Next.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
I don't-
God, this question.
This is-
Wow.
yeah.
So, my waifu gun of choice would be the Killer 7. Killer 7, if you don't know, it's
Based on the
a
game.
Magnum.
Oh,
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, so it's you can one shot pretty much anything with it. It's awesome. So it's super powerful, right? So
Mhm.
kind of contradict that. I thought it would be great to have like one of those high pitched anime girl voices.
No!
Yeah.
Like it's like super high energy, always excited,
The stereotype,
it
the trope.
loves to be near you and like yeah it's God.
Senpai.
Like you reload it, it's like Oni-chan, that tickles, like
Whoa! Oh my
Wait,
God.
you said Oni-chan? Excuse me. You didn't tell me this
Wait,
gun
you
was
want to do
incest,
What does Oni-chan mean?
Hey, don't worry
brother?
about it. I
Okay.
said don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, yeah. DLC pack.
But yeah, I just thought that would be kind of funny, to have like a really powerful weapon. You'd expect it to have like a really powerful personality, but this is that just having like that little anime voice. Just something about it just would make me want to use it all the time.
I thought it would say senpai or something, not Oni-chan.
Maybe
I
that's
just-
how-
That's his gun, though. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Wait, hold up. Wait a second. Hey, hold up.
Hold up.
Wait a minute.
No.
Hey, hold on. Wait a second. It's just clicking just
Next.
now. Wait. No. Hold on.
Oh my god. Okay, this is good question, Genji. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I always have the good ones.
Oh yeah, definitely. For me, the weapon I would turn into a waifu would be the bolt thrower. I'll rename it to Boltana.
Boltana?
Every time you fire the gun, you fire it and it goes, yeah. And then, it shoots the arrow. But then, as the arrow's flying across, the audio starts to get more quieter as it goes away. Yeah. So every time you fire an arrow and every time you pick it up, it's just making weird, questionable noises that you don't want it to be heard in the public.
You don't want to play this game on speaker after this add-on.
The only reason why I started to think about that was because I did play, I think 1/3 of the game, Resident Evil 4 in Japanese, and I kid you not.
Really?
As you're running, Ashley is just, you cannot focus. She is just breathing, making noises, and
You can't focus, huh?
you just can't focus. So I had to change it back to English. I was like,
Listen to Ada. Off topic, but did you listen to Ada Wong's?
yes, she was great. She was great in Japanese. That's the reason why I swapped, actually, because I wanted to hear what Ada Wong's parts would sound like. So when I knew there was Ada Wong part coming up, I swapped to the Japanese. But dude, I kid you not, Ashley in Japanese, it's like, every single time as you're running, nothing's even happening. You're just thinking it's this brisk jog, and she's just freaking moaning and making breathing noises. It's a lot. Can't focus. But yeah, basically that in gun form or
Oh, God.
in the bolt form. Every time you fire it,
Then.
yeah, he'll just never focus. That's the downside. You'll never be able to focus. Amen. But yeah, that's mine. Soul, what about you?
No. RPG.
You guys are question is so concerning to so many levels. I don't even want to know.
You want to talk? I was kidding.
Do I want to objectify some weapons?
Dude, this is just like the Power Rangers question. Your soul is just speechless. You don't know what to say.
Oh, I still need to draw that.
Great question.
Our Power Ranger.
It's
Oh.
oh no. Well, I think I'm gonna try and be the reasonable one here, I guess.
Oh,
There's no way you
I don't think
can.
there's a reasonable answer.
you already
Yeah.
waifooed your gun. What's reasonable about that? You lost.
You're trying to waifu your gun, so
Yeah.
you could try.
You can try to be the more saner of us all. There you go. How about that?
Yes, that can work. That can work. What's that name?
Let's go with that. Let's make it. Let's make that. Yeah.
Okay, what you got?
What's that gun called? What's that bolt action?
Which one? Describe it.
The bolt action one.
Oh, bolt thrower.
No, bolt action rifle.
Oh, the
rifle.
M1909. Oh, M1909.
Yeah,
Okay.
M1903.
I mean 3. Why do you keep saying 9? What the?
Okay, so yeah, I think that's gonna be the weapon. Shoot. I think I just lost.
She likes to see out into the future.
I'm so sorry. I need that question answered, asked again because I'm still flabbergasted of it. It just
So you're getting rid of Ashley. Ashley doesn't exist anymore. You're picking one of the guns from Resident Evil, turning it into a companion, but it needs to have a personality and it needs to have a voice.
oh. Okay.
Yeah, what voice would your M1903 have, and what would its personality be?
It's like boom, boom, boom.
No.
Pew pew
I'd
pew.
Well, it's gonna be SRM 1903. I know that.
That's his name?
No.
Helga.
Helga.
Helga. American Rifle was a different name.
Eki.
Becky.
Oh, I didn't.
The bolt action rifle.
Hold up.
He loves to be.
Dude,
recycled.
you just gotta pick something, man. I'm not editing any of this. We're just it's gonna be it's going in.
Just pick your king card. I'm sorry.
What?
What?
He said just pick your pinky already.
Pick your pinky?
Yeah.
Pick Pinky.
Oh, all right. So
okay, I don't get it.
I think I'll name her Saint Angeline.
Saint Angela. That's a good name.
Wow, that's cute. Okay.
Even if I go close quarter combat, she'll just watch over my back in the distance.
Oh, Ayaka.
You can take off.
No, she'll watch my
remember,
back. She'll always watch my back.
In the RE4, you can take off the scope and have irons.
Yeah, I mean,
so you can always take off the top in case it gets really close.
Well, calm down.
Oh no, I'm gonna go. I'm more standard than that.
So you're gonna do no scope?
No, she can try. That's why I'm gonna be her close quarter support.
So with or without scope, this is important.
And then it's depends on the situation.
Mm.
So when her personality is more of a military like.
So that's what you're into. Okay.
Yep. And she's not. And her voice, she won't have those questionable ones. She'll
have a normal voice,
something like that. She'll be the female protagonist of Ghost in the Shell.
I don't know what that sounds like. So.
Okay.
Major Makoto Kusanagi. Let me just type that up.
Lesser Lord Kusanagi.
No.
We're gonna have the voice of Remy from Black Lagoon.
Yeah, Kusanagi. That's her name.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's what you like. Huh.
Yep. Because she actually she's actually my anime crush at this point.
Wow!
Oh, wow!
We even got a confession at the end of this book club. I like it.
Damn, Genji, your questions work wonders. What the fuck?
Genji,
She's
like it.
She's there along with that furry from Star Wars Visions Tubby.
Wow, that's very specific. Right on.
Wait, isn't her name like Hop or something?
My questions.
Oh, Lop.
This is her. This is her tail, man.
Okay. Well, before we start spreading pictures, we'll keep going here.
Okay. I see it. I can see it.
Yeah. You have to include the picture for the podcast for everyone to see.
Who's the one from Star Wars? Who's that one too?
Okay. Before we go on a tangent here, so
you need to play Phasmophobia later.
Rifle, right? So the rifle, based off of Ghost in Shell.
Yes.
Okay. And the sound. The sound.
What she sound?
What does it sound like?
He says she sounds like what's her name is from the anime, right?
Yeah.
The firing sound.
She sounds like a voice of an angel, but once it's close, it's like a banshee. And that's the last thing that the enemy will hear.
Soul is down bad. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Ready to work that action.
Okay. I like it. Good job, Genji. I like this question. Very well done. Very well done.
Just wait for next one.
All right. But
yeah, she shows up.
you guys, before we conclude this episode, we got to spin that wheel of mystery one more time to determine the next game for VGBC.
Boy,
so all the points have been submitted. Everything's been calculated. We're going to spin the wheel of mystery. In 3, 2, 1, spin. Oh, freak.
Come on, Genji.
Oh,
me.
No way.
Oh, that was weird.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Well, Tailman, looks like you're not going to get that week off.
Oh, man. Dang it. I'm going to take a week off. That's why I picked the throwaway game.
Well,
It was
Tailman.
also mildly interesting. So if I did get picked, at least I wouldn't mind it. But
Well, you know how
No.
it is. You know how it is, Tailman. What's the game? What you got for us?
RE4 VR. No, game.
RE4 VR.
No,
All
no, no,
right.
no, no, it's Kill It With Fire. Kill It With Fire.
What's that?
Exactly.
How's that game?
What
What about 100%
For a
orange
couple
juice?
hours.
Kill it with fire. Oh, there it is. Tailman.
Overwhelmingly positive.
You're 2 for 2. You're back-to-back wins now.
Wow.
Oh my, I am. Holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, no. I think the last person to do that was Nakuso. Back-to-back wins. So yeah, you hold the streak right now. Actually, both of you guys are tied for the streak.
So here's the thing. You guys are seeing, there's 2 versions. You feel free to play whichever, whether it be VR or the regular.
So the official game, nominated by Tailman, will be Kill It With Fire. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So that concludes this episode of Video Game Book Club. Thank you for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this podcast, feel free to like, follow, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Patreon, whatever platform you can find us on. Links in the description box below. With that said, take care, have a good one, and we will catch you in the next episode of Video Game Book Club. Say goodbye, everyone.